Very nice. Synergy and its purposes. Synergy, and what I mean by that is not having just one element alone for something within ourselves, within the reality we live in this world. Even when I was talking about there's life in the blood, there's life in the graphene. So basically, um, some people and some things in this life need synergy because they work better and they serve a higher purpose when they're not just alone. They can go hand in hand with friendships, marriages, relationships. Careers or whatever else we want and seek in this life. So, and basically, it's not even just that it creates something more, but in order for it to work, it needs something else to perfectly mix in with it for it to actually reproduce out something that is better and greater than what it ever could have been. If it was, it would create something way more better than if it would have just stayed alone, you know. And honestly, taking it back to relationships, some people actually function better in relationships than by themselves. But actually, you don't even have to look at it as a physical thing. Just look at it as something spiritual as well. That synergy, basically, the definition of it is something that not just starts off by itself, but something it can blend in, mix in with, and a combination of something else to blend in or have with it to make itself better, basically. You know. And it complements it. It's like a compliment. Like, you ever heard of two heads are better than one, so it complements it in greater form, fashion, something that is better, and it gives it way more potential than what it would have had by itself. I don't know. I think some things work better with something else, another element, particle, relationship, a better career, better something that will go hand in hand and not only help it, but help it in a way where it will help move. It sees potential. Both parties see potential in each other, but once together, they're unstoppable, basically. And I'm not using this as a bad thing, but when I said the blood and there's life in the blood, there's life in the graphene, it can also be used for something good and not entirely evil. So use it for the good of humankind, not evil, but let alone most people's hearts, or all hearts, are really deceitful, blinding. You never heard the term that love is blinding? That's a thing. It's just our hearts. The human heart is corrupt in its own. It was created because before the darkness had stepped into our world, that the human heart, I do believe, was actually a good thing, but now it's just so corrupt that eventually it's not even going to be a human heart anymore. It's going to be like some AI, artificial intelligence, attached to it, so people are not going to be fully human. But regardless of that, two heads are better than one, and some things work better and have more potential themselves, like, than how, if they would ever been by themselves, they have more potential with the something that is paired with them that actually blends in well with them. Not iron and clay, because we know they don't mix. But I think of blood and the graphene when I think of something it can go hand in hand. But remember, use it for good of all mankind, not evil. Because trust me, most people have evil. So, synergy. It's almost like it can become something more than physical. It's like supernatural. So, I have to keep that in mind. So, it's like when I stare at these lights, I see it's like one person that could be dead, but when they have that other person that sees potential in them and they both pair together, they create something more than what they could have been just alone. So, and I'm trying to keep this message something positive, but don't be afraid to take criticism, beliefs from people. Well, you don't have to take it, but at least listen to it, because you can use that as an example as in taking criticism, critiques, opinions, beliefs, listen to them. Don't mean you have to take them fully, just at least listen, because you can take even like something that they tell you out of it and apply it to your own life. That will definitely help, and it will create something on the lines of synergy that you didn't have before until you started listening to this other person or doing these other things. Because as human beings, I do believe that we need stuff like that, because it creates more potential in our own selves than what we could have ever been, done, or seen, unless we would actually listen or heard somebody out, or at least listen to them. Even if you don't take it fully, you at least take just something out of it. So, at least listen, I guess, but at least take something out of it to apply to your own life to make synergy in your own life. So, yeah, Fire and Ice, amen. And I really hope that kind of penetrated somebody today, that it penetrated your hearts, that you would receive something like that to use in your own life, to take something out of to apply in your own life and use it as synergy to create something more. Because human beings, yeah, we might be sluggish, evil, dark, whatever, that we have potential still. Do I see it fully in AI? I could see something in AI, but at the same time, I just see artificial intelligence. I know I keep talking about artificial intelligence, but I just keep seeing it, and I can't get out of my head of these soulless beings don't have, I wouldn't even say they have synergy. They really have no souls, and to enslave us in the end. I might make another video on that, so Fire and Ice, Godspeed out.